Hello and welcome back to Grim Survival. Today is Monday, September 9th, 2019. That's right, 9919. That is the date today. I actually remembered it for that reason. I did not get to making any videos this weekend because I was doing things I probably did not want to do. I won't make a list of them, but hey, it involved working, so here I am. Windows are down, so if you can hear vehicles driving by, that's why. It's decent weather outside, although it's been raining off and on. So, anyway, today we're talking about system failure. That's probably the name of this video, is going to be a complete system failure, because that's what I see in this country right now, is system failure all across the board. Everywhere you look, system failure. What do I mean by that? I mean education system is failing, government is failing, security, law enforcement has failed, just all across the board. Food, of course. Look at food. Economy is up there on the list too. So I was watching a video. I wasn't watching the video, but I was hearing about a video, a comedy special Dave Chappelle did. Dave Chappelle is a comedian, famous for thinking he's funny. Apparently he did a skit or a special that basically attacked the left, I guess is how we look at these particular people. He attacked people who are pro-abortion. I don't know if outright attacked, but made fun of or whatever he did. I have not seen his video, although after hearing about it, I probably will look it up. He went into a lot of things that ticked off a lot of people that are apparently on the left. This is my left. I don't understand the difference. Left, right, middle. On this channel, we are firmly not even in the middle. We don't even associate ourselves with it at all. Me personally, I personally believe that the system has failed. The government has failed us, and it should be abolished. But you can't say that on YouTube because you'll get, demonetized and banned and kicked off. And so, yeah, revolution. Let's roll. I'm in. Are you? I don't really care if they ban me. They don't pay me any money anyway. So, all right, Dave Chappelle, he was talking about the new argument for pro-choice abortion argument is that men, listen to me here, men should have the right to not raise the child if the woman decides to keep it. That's the argument now. If you have the right to kill the unborn child, then we have the right not to raise the child when it's born. That's what the new argument is, and he was making fun of this. I'm not really sure what his standpoint is on it, and I'm sure you know what mine is. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that this is, I'm a fairly Christian person. I say fairly because there's a lot of things that me and mainstream Christians don't agree on. But anyway, let's get back to the point. So men have the right to not raise the child. Let's define a man first off. Men have the right to not raise their child. Let's just define that right there. This is system failure, because if you are a man like this, me, I'm a man, yeah, I didn't want to be, I didn't choose it, well, I wouldn't say I didn't want it, but because it's not too bad being a white male, pretty awesome. But anyway, let's not go there, race wars and all that. But define man. You're not going to raise your child because some woman somewhere else decided she wanted to kill her unborn baby and said she had the right to, so now you're going to decide not to raise your child. Okay, yeah, let's define man. Men, people who take responsibility for their actions, raise their children correctly so that they don't grow up being females who believe that killing unborn children is correct or right. In case you were unaware, this channel is not pro-abortion. We do not talk about killing. Well, we talk about it, but we don't do it. We don't kill unborn babies. We wait till you're born before we kill you, so that you have to suffer like the rest of us before you get the chance to get out of here. That is our belief. I guess that's the right's belief. That's my belief anyway. I don't know if I'm right, left, middle. I don't care. I don't pay attention to all that stuff. So anyway, it's a failure in the family unit. That's where it stopped. That's where we started having basically every problem that we have had. You see, it started when, and this is my own scenario here from my imagination, this is how I see it starting, is men got tired of women nagging so much, So men started going out to the bars and drinking too much, and then they decided that they didn't really need to go home. And you know, when you're drinking, you lose what you're supposed to. You know, you're not paying attention to what you're doing, and you end up doing stupid things. So then they started having these kids with these women that they came across while their wives were at home. Anyway, family unit completely broke down. And then you had a bunch of single mothers and a bunch of idiots that were drunk and not paying attention. That's just one of the scenarios that probably happened. But anyway, point of the matter is the family unit completely broke down. We don't really have family units anymore. We don't have husbands, wives, and children. We have kids zoned out on phones. We have husbands that work all day, every day. We have wives that work all day, every day. And you know, in my household, my wife is at work before I get off of work, and she is gone to work before I get up or she gets off of work before anyway, opposite shifts. We wouldn't see each other if she didn't get days off, because I don't. Anyway, moving on. Family unit completely broke down. This is a result of education system failure. I really believe it is, because education system is where it all started. See, if we had a proper education system, like most other countries do, not most, but a lot of other countries do, where the kids are actually encouraged to learn, not to memorize, where they are encouraged to have a career, not a job, to do something that they enjoy and are productive in society, instead of some meaningless slave labor that we do around here that we hate, because, yeah, most of us hate our jobs. Yeah, I hate driving this truck. It sucks. You wouldn't believe how many lives I save on a daily basis driving this truck by not just running them over. True story. Anyway, so education system has failed. This is a chain reaction. It's a result of it created men that don't believe that they're men. It just, when you send your kids off to a school to let someone else teach them how to be, you got to expect them not to be like you. So if you are a very good, moral, upstanding citizen, very Christian person, and you send your child to, just this example might tick some people off, but this example, if you send them to a very ghetto, inner city type school, as that moral, very Christian person that doesn't know violence and doesn't know any hardship, and you dump them into a place where violence is a regular thing, hardship is a regular thing, teen pregnancy, drugs, you know, it's going to change them. It's what happens in every school system, in every public school system. You send your kid there as one person, they come back as someone different, because schools are designed to brainwash and indoctrinate children. They are designed to do so. If you look at how schools actually operate, that's what they're designed to. I mean, you can compare any school nowadays, especially the states that have enforced the uniform rules, that you could look at any public school and compare it to the Nazi regime. You really could. They were one and the same. They were very much alike. They teach you the exact same things. Brainwash, indoctrinate, make sure that you are a mindless, obedient drone who goes to work every day, does your 9 to 5 or your 9 to 9 is more like it nowadays. And, yeah. Family union was broken down by education system. Started with the TV. Ads, subliminal messaging. If you don't believe this is true, look at the TV nowadays, the agenda that's on the TV. Probably about a year ago, they were really heavily pushing the gay agenda, the, you know, pro-gay, whatever they call themselves. I don't know. It's some acronym that starts with an L. I don't remember. I don't pay attention because I don't care. Okay, but the point of the matter is they were really pushing this hard on TV. So all your TV shows and all your commercials, all your movies, and they still are like this, women have become the primary dominant characters in all these shows. They've taken the male characters, even male characters from past shows, and turned them into males that are not men. They turn them into bumbling idiots. Every man for every sitcom type show like we used to have. I mean, it started really back in the 90s. If you remember 90s sitcoms like Seinfeld, for one, how the main male characters were dumber than the main female characters. The same thing with Home Improvement show. I think Home Improvement, yeah, with Tim Allen. The main male character was a bumbling moron, and his wife always had to make this. I mean, it's been going. If you listen to country music from starting in the 80s to the 90s, you hear them talking about you know, how the wife wears the pants in the family, and if we don't do this, and my wife took my keys, and my wife won't let me go to the bar, my wife won't. Okay, so yeah, that's what happened. Men, what happened to men? They're gone. That's what extinct. I'm gonna call it. American men are extinct. If you are America and you are a male and you consider yourself to be a man, well, you're probably not. I mean, was I ever taught to be a man by my father? Nothing saying bad about my father. Rest his soul. He is no longer alive, and that's why I can say this, because otherwise he'd whoop my, you know what, all over the place. But anyway, was I ever really taught to be a man? I mean, were we taken out to do, look at Native American men rituals? A young adult male was sent out into the wilderness, in some instances alone, to hunt a wild animal and prove that he could provide for himself. Men nowadays aren't made to prove that they can provide for themselves. Therefore, they cannot provide for themselves or the family that they have started, even though they may not have done it on purpose. So therefore, they don't have an actual family because they're too busy going off and playing video games or doing whatever it is males do. So all of these things, the education system, the abortion debate, how men are no longer men, all of it. TV, subliminal messaging. Yes, I believe subliminal messaging is a real thing. If you pay attention to it and you listen really closely and you watch really closely, record it and slow it down, you can tell that they're repeating the same thing throughout all the TV shows and the commercials and things like that. I haven't watched TV in years, but I could pick it out at the time. And you really can see that it's not really subliminal. It's more like in your face. It's psychology is what it is. If you repeat the same thing over and over and over again to a person, it starts to stick in their head. Now, if that thing is wrong, they will still do it. Just look up the Milgram experiments. I'll make a video on that one day. Blind obedience is basically what it is. I mean, you can see it everywhere. So, America the Great, America the past tense, I believe. I'm an American. I really am. I love the country. I like the country. I would like the country to be great again, like Trump said it was going to be. Although any of us with 2 brain cells knocking around in our head can know that Trump has absolutely no power to control, change, or do anything, because he is just as bought and paid for as the rest of the country is and has been for many years. That's just my opinions. This kind of talk angers a lot of people, a lot of left type people, or a lot of people that believe that our government is actually there for a reason other than to control us and kill us off. But yeah, so you know, that's just where we stand in our country. All system failure. It's failing across the board. Economics is also on the brink of falling completely apart due to food shortage. So our agriculture system's falling apart, which is creating the chain reaction of our economic system falling apart. Sooner or later, it's just going to come down to, you know, a dictatorship. That's what we're pushing toward, is a dictatorship. Some one person is going to have to come be the savior. I mean, yeah, that's where we are on the path. If you look at the path and you have an objective point of view and you can take a step back and look at the whole picture and look at the reality of the situation, that's where we're headed. One world government, one savior. Read that last book in the Bible if you haven't yet. That's where we're headed. But, you know, that's where we're supposed to be headed. It said so, right? And even if you don't believe in that last book of the Bible, the elite people, they believe that they want to see if it's real. So they're going to try to do the bad things that it says in that book to just see. Why not? I mean, we've got to test the waters, right? Test those theories. That's where we're at. America, our government has failed. Our education system is a joke. We're just past the point of no return, in my opinion. Could it be saved? If there was more people that thought like me, and probably you, and we actually stopped going to our jobs, because that's really all it would take. If we just stopped going to our jobs, if we stopped doing what makes them money or getting the resources for them, and we just focused on providing for ourselves and our family with our own growing in our own land and our own homesteads. Abandon the cities, go to the country, everybody grow their own food, take care of themselves. You don't need electricity to survive. You do not need a cell phone to survive. You don't. But most people are not going to give up their creature comforts to do it. That's the biggest problem, really. So revolution, no. People are too comfortable to revolt. As long as they have their iPhones and their Samsungs and their TVs and their McDonald's, it's just not going to happen. So, past the point of no return, I think we are SOL. If you don't know what SOL stands for, look it up. Remember, survival is grim. It's not all fun and games. It's not a bed of roses. We're all going to die. We really are. And if you don't believe we're all going to die, I mean, well, I don't know. Go look at like an anatomy thing or health class. I don't know. Look up Google of how people die. Oh, there's an app that my kids play. It's called Dumb Ways to Die. It plays this annoying song. Yeah, dumb ways to die, something or another, blah, blah, blah. It's really obnoxious and annoying, but really, you're going to die. So subscribe before you do. Have a good one.